So before I move on to talk about z-scores, I do want to touch on one other kind of fractile that's somewhat important, percentiles, where here we're breaking our data set into 100 groups, breaking them off into percents to get a sense of where a data point is in relation to the others. This is where you'll hear something like you were in the 99th percentile for height in middle school, or your SAT score was in the 90th percentile for the state of Florida, that sort of thing, where you're saying that 90% of data was at or below you, or whatever value that is you're thinking about. But here, what we do is we just take the number of values below what we're talking on, divide it by the number of values total in the data set, and then multiply it by 100 to represent that as a percentage. So we're going to take a quick example here where we're looking at tuition costs for a sample of 25 students in the thousands of dollars, where I hope no one here is paying over $50,000 for tuition. If you are, you should really talk to financial aid, although I'd say even 16,000 is probably too much, but that's just me. Anyway, we want to find the percentile for a $40,000 tuition. So what we need to do here is first, notice that we got some of the work done for us, that the data is already in ascending order, and we have on there 13 values below 40. So we want to find the percentile for $40,000. What we do is we take the values below, 13, divide it by the total number of values in the data set, 25 students in the sample, and multiply that by 100 to get 52. And that's it. What this tells us is that 40,000 in tuition is in the 52nd percentile. And talking about percentiles here is actually a nice bridge into what we're going to talk about next with what are called z-scores, which is a different way of talking about position in terms of the mean and standard deviation. We saw a touch of that, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Because with both z-scores and percentiles, we're going to be coming back to this in Chapter 5 and beyond when we start talking a lot more about distributions. But again, that stuff's not something we're going to be worried about for more than a few weeks yet, though it's worth at least mentioning now so we have a sense of what's to come.